if you're interested in, or you're active in the world of CBT, and I'm probably familiar with Martha Linehan's work in DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, enormous symmetry between the sort of work that I do in terms of, again, call it, I suppose, broadly somatic work, in allowing individuals to feel some of the things that are a glass half full approach to the story of their own lives. So I'm jumping around a little bit here, but if we, a wonderful quote from Simone de Beauvoir summarizes in many ways this conflation, if you like, of neuroscience and artistic work. And what she talked about was this, that the difference between hope and despair is telling different stories with the same facts. And so that's really what, one of the things anyway, that we're doing in these workshops is obliging individuals to look at a story outside of themselves, often a film, and through the process of reverse engineering, trying to understand why they're moved and the manner in which they're manipulated by those stories, getting a clearer picture about how that may be happening to themselves. So I hope that most of us can probably agree that the biggest story in our lives is not a great movie that we adore, but it's the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves. And so if we look in a simple way at one of the aspects of story grammar, and I wish I was in the same room as you, because I'd be asking you a bunch of questions and trying to pull out of you the answers rather than just throwing them at you. But if I was to ask you, what are the core ingredients that constitute the grammar of story, I'd be fascinated to know what you came up with. The industry, many successful writers included, are often slightly in the dark themselves about this stuff. It's often a side effect of having to teach, to be honest, which allows you to begin to list some of these things. But way up on the list, and there's no obviously absolute one correct or wrong answer, but way up on the list of elements is this, and that is the constant opportunity for growth. So we manipulate when we tell stories, when we build stories, character development, plot, and theme. They're like three horses that we tie up to one chariot, and we hope they will go in the same direction. But when we're using those things, what we're trying to do is to set up situations again and again, which prompt in the viewer or the reader an understanding that the central characters are being given opportunities for growth. Now, very often they don't take those opportunities, they squander them, just as we do in life. But understanding that dynamic is just one of, well, probably many hundred of intricately designed aspects of story structure that allows us as storytellers to manipulate the audience.